Hi, kindergarten. Today we're going to be reading the story Mistletoe by Margie Palatini, illustrated by Henry Cole. Mistletoe. That moose looks silly. He has a nice fancy mustache, huh? Let's see what happens in this story. 'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with a tuneful of tidings and a flurry of fa-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had the holiday spirit. But Moose was more than just a bit merry and bright. He was busy, busy, busy. There was lots to be done on his list of to-dos, but with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple, easy, yes, in all probability, practically perfect. He wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work. He wrote cards and letters till his hoofs hurt. Check. He shopped till he dropped. Check. He hauled home boxes and bags, presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone, stacked from ceiling to floor. Check, check, check. Then he rapped, yo, 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 and he ribboned, ho, ho, ho. And on each and every package, he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. Looks like his mustache is getting in the way here. Another look at the list, and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out the pots, pans, and bowls, sifted through stacks and racks of cookbooks. He whisked with his left, he spooned with his right. There's all his books. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies, check. Dozens of cakes, breads, and sweets, check, check, check. He made jelly, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams. Check, 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 triple check. Yes, 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 so simple, so easy. And but of course, so perfectly perfect. Decorations were next on his list of things to get done. So Moose decked the halls, then spruced up the walls, and beaded, bowed, and moosel-toed. He gathered garlands, roped wreaths and holly, jingled bells, sang noels. Oh, good golly, this Moose was jolly. Check, 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 check. Last but not least, he hung all the stockings, each and every one, with special care, and just in time, too, because Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap, and so simple, so easy. And if he did say so himself, Moose thought totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. On that night before Christmas, Mother, little Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done. Everything looked quite beautiful, festive, quite fine indeed. There was just one minor problem, if you will. Oh dear, sighed the missus in the five, stared at one empty corner. Oh my, oh me, oh gee, Pop, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the tree. Oh. No tree? Oops. Where would they hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his gifts for the kiddies on Christmas Eve night? So Moose pulled on his galoshes and put on his hat. He would find a tree somewhere, somehow, and that's all there was to that. So out went the Moose, braving blustery, blowing winds in the cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. Moose first hoofed it down to the corner, not a tree to be had. Then he slid around the block. Uh-oh, things were looking bad. He went down every boulevard, street, and little road. He looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even one lousy, boughless bough hanging around. Nope, nothing. Not a tree to be found. Sold out. No tree. Sighed a sad Moose as he came home empty-handed that snowy eve. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, "Oh, so who needs a tree?" But Moose could plainly see they were short on the glee. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner he stood and spread his arms out very wide. Then he smiled at his children and winked at his bride. "Kids, fetch your forgetful pop some of that tried and true family glop." "Dear Santa, we don't have a tree, but leave presents here." So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without a word to one another, they knew just what to do. They each took apart, grabbing strands, taking hold, and carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped and they plopped, they pasted and they pressed, they curled and twirled every which way a follicle could fathom, until Moose's magnificent moustache was indeed even more of a marvel to see. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from his head to his toes, and draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shining and bells that twinkled, candy canes, berries, and plums sugar sprinkled. Then they all stood back. Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah, wow. Yes, Moose truly was one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and oh boy, was he ever bright. They turned him into the tree. Then Junior placed the star on top of Moose's head. He gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed, except Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy, and okay, it wasn't perfectly perfect, but do you know what? It was pretty close. Uh-oh, it's dark, and there's Moose. Ho, ho, ho! I guess Santa made it after all. So I hope you enjoyed the story, Mooseltoe. I have an activity for you to work on now. When you're done with the video, you're going to work on a response activity on Seesaw. You're going to draw a picture from the end of the story in this box and finish the sentence. Moose was a blank. So I can't wait to see your illustrations. Make sure you add details and color to your picture.